Morning, guys. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Are we zombies yet? 7:09 on West Coast time. It is the 19th of June, 2024. Watching the news concerning about the weather patterns changing on us left and right. One thing I noticed that Jim Costa on CNN wasn't talking about as much was the politics involved regarding FEMA's inability to service a great deal of people because Congress still hadn't got off his dead ass to get shit done. And if FEMA happens to run out of money and we still need mortar services, we need to have Congress working. But since we have people with conniption fits and being toddler brains all the time, I doubt anybody else is going to be happy with FEMA's or the current administration. I'll blame the administration, but I blame Congress for this one. And then I blame the voters for having the stupid Congress people in there screwing themselves over because they have conniption fits and being toddler brains. And humanity at this time because we're changing things too drastically and we're not adapting as much as we should. More intense flooding in certain areas of the South, making more floods happen and people losing homes left and right. FEMA's not there to help out, neither is the Red Cross. But Red Cross Salvation Army will still demand money from everybody else so their own NGOs can work. Meanwhile, Congress fits and farts and fiddle farts and blame everybody else. Can't get bills passed. You can't get disaster relief going. So those who have depended upon disaster relief on the federal government say goodbye to it. Because the federal government, as we know, actually Congress, screw them all. You folks allowed that shit to happen. You put the idiots in office, and this is what happens. They want more power. They want more and more and more and more. And they're willing to blame everybody else. And because we have a current administration in office right now, we have to have politics screw up everything. I mean, we have to blame the current administrator because Congress can't get off his dead ass to do shit. So we blame the executive branch for it. But the executive branch can't get shit done unless the legislative gets off its dead ass. But the legislative doesn't want to win for the current administration. No, how dare they? This doesn't do well. So right now we get storms coming off the Atlantic coming into areas and blasting people out left and right. Oh yeah, welcome to the summertime. So what I'm going to be hearing is more and more belly aching. People demanding Congress to do something, and I'll blame the voters because they voted the assholes in there in the first place. I'll blame them. Because you wanted these jokers in there that you realize that they're not helping you much and you're not demonstrating. You're not making your displeasure known. And you've let the legislators to dictate your lives because you allowed that kind of power to slip away. Again, I blame the damn voters for being ignorant as hell. I don't blame democracy. Because one thing I know about the democracy is one of the weakest forms of government out there. But if you're going to have your freedoms, you need to have a democratic system here. Checks and balances, head to head sometimes, but it's all about compromise. If you're willing to compromise, you can get things done. But if you're not willing to compromise, then democracy is going to die. Because that's how it works. Even Aristotle had talked about this in his notes. But people don't learn. People don't read. They just want to hear it by mouth and find someone else to blame for their own discomfort. So basically, humanity doesn't know its ass from hot rock. Why am I not surprised? So meanwhile, we will have fire and floods happening. New Mexico is torching itself, caused by some reason or something happening out there. But we don't know. Until we get a handle on the fire situation, FEMA's not going to help much. Red Cross and Salvation are going to be screaming for more money from its members and also from the general public to in order to serve the general public. They can't get help from the government because the government is dragging its ass off because we put those knuckle draggers in there. That's what they are. So what else are we supposed to do about it? Not a damn thing. Enjoy how we're being cooked. Yeah, I say that sarcastically, but it's not fun. Come outside about 96 degrees. Yeah, we've had days like that out here in the West Coast. We've had people dying from the heat. They had to conserve power like crazy to make sure that the energy bills doesn't go skyrocketing. Sometimes you have to make partial payments and stagger the bills all throughout the year because energy costs are getting that high. Despite the fact that we can put up wind turbines, don't work as much, not much wind coming through. But we get the solar farms out there. Oops, sorry, they're going to get torched. Some other nasty firebug wants to burn all the damn thing down. And then cause more fire and more smoke in the air. So that's what we're getting. How's that one grab you? Of course, I don't see anybody protesting all the damn time. They'll bitch and gripe about the current administration and the executive branch, but they don't bitch and gripe about their own legislative. They don't protest. Again, I blame damn voters. Apathy, ignorance, indifference. They want to pass the buck, but they don't take responsibility for the shit. Yeah, I'm feeling it this morning. I'm not feeling the love this morning. I'm feeling like we're all about to get it. We're gonna get the shit hitting the fan today. Even worse. We'll struggle with what we've got with meager resources to combat whatever we're dealing with. We've already had the 15,000 acres and more, so we'd have maybe 4 or 5 days into the fire already out in Gorman, California area, spreading southwards, burning up more vegetation, but on a lengthy area, not spreading it out wide like New Mexico has. Where New Mexico is losing towns due to fire and smoke. And it's not fun trying to get away from that shit. It's not fun dealing with that shit. It's not the visual images I'm seeing on the television. It's going through part of this thing in my life. And so it's never fun dealing with that in itself. We may have clean air right now as it is, but wait until when we can't breathe. What do? Blame the fire department for that one for not keeping the air clean enough? Do I blame them for it? So now we deal. We cope. And we see houses being burned down. We see coastlines being eroded. We see air quality going hell in a handbasket. But we blame a current executive branch for the damn shit, and they had nothing to do with it. I blame the lawmakers and the people who voted the assholes in. They want to play their damn head games. They'll play their head games and then blame everybody else because they don't want to take responsibility for it. They don't want to do their jobs. And again, there's no voter revolt on that one. But they'll blame everybody else and put up the signs, and they don't take responsibility or accountability or transparency. They don't want to. Why the hell should they? They're supposed to be we the people. Yeah, well, where's the we and where's the people? We'll have our militia groups out there blaming the Constitution so bad they want a new Constitution. Or they're going to be supporting the Constitution because everybody else doesn't support the Constitution. Therefore, yeah, I'm doing this fun this morning. So, they'll do the violent ends for it. They'll blame other groups for their own stupidity as they storm the grounds of the U.S. Capitol trying to halt an election that already took place. Results were already being counted. But they demand, no, it's not. It's rigged. It's fixed. But they have no proof of it. But they're listening to an orange gas bag who tells them otherwise. How does that grab you? And then the independents going ape over shit, over everybody else. They got nothing else better to do. Corporate media doing the same thing, except trying to make news a little bit more palatable instead of absolutely terrifying. It might scare the shareholders. So, welcome to our world this morning. On June 19th, 2024, where all hell's breaking loose. Are we awake yet? Are we alive yet? And are we crashing and burning this morning? Well, let's see. There's no ashes. There's no ashfall. We must have got about 30% containment, hopefully. On a huge fire, it's got maybe about 16, 17,000 acres already burned up in Angeles National Forest. It'll take years for them to recover. Yeah, we're just having a grand old time today, aren't we?